big win, especially some on this program saying that the Bills were on upset watch ahead of Sunday. They battle all the way back. The AFC East, they hung in there. The Jets play tonight against the 49ers, so it could be, pending Monday Night Football, a clean sweep. As of now, we sit at 3-0 in the division. Yesterday, Peter, where do you start off if you want to take the covers down on the AFC East and look at what their roundup was?
Well, at one point here, the Bills were losing to the Cardinals, the Dolphins were down big to the Jaguars, and the Patriots were in a nail-biter with the Bengals. And you're like, these teams are going to get – the Jets could end up 1-0. Well, these guys are all win. Instead, they all win. I look at the player that I covered for many years when he was up in New England and how his team would do in his NFL debut as a coach, and that's Jerod Mayo. This team was as disciplined as any team in the league yesterday. They were as in shape as any team in the league. And now, this is the word out of New England, that it was a really hard training camp, that he drilled them hard. And you saw it. They were just so dialed in, and they didn't stop. They were punishing against this Bengals team. Not many people had them to win this game. Obviously, they were the pick in everyone's survivor pool, including mine. And yet, Jerod Mayo's team personified everything that he was as a player. Tough, smart, disciplined, and dominant when it mattered most. The Patriots get a win in a hostile environment over a Bengals team that was dealing with contract issues and players getting injured, and there was food sickness, and there was all this stuff going around. Patriots are like, let's go win a football game, and let's go win it the way that Jerod Mayo played as a player. I love this win for New England. They're 1-0, and they're looking at week 2 and like, hey, who knows? Maybe this is not the worst team in the world after all.
I'll speak for all of us, Peter. It's astonishing what you're able to do in these survivor pools.
Talk about it.
We're going to get into it early in the week. Just very quickly, we do a survivor pool where you just pick one game that has to be the winner. It doesn't matter point spread. This team will definitely win. Peter picked the Bengals at home to win. Peter's out after 1 week. Last year, Peter was out after 1 week. The year before that, Peter was out. That's very hard to do. I almost think you're doing it on purpose now.
And I'm very self-aware. I came on the show on Friday with the first pick, and I said, guys, there's history here. I'm always wrong. Don't bet with me here. I took the Bengals thinking they were at home and they would beat a Patriots team that's ranked 32 on the NFL.com power rankings. But naturally, I was wrong again, and I couldn't be happier for New England fans.
I think it's the right
bet against this guy week 1.
Peter's Mr. Super Bowl, and he just sucks at survivor pools. But I have an idea for another segment that maybe we can do tomorrow, Wednesday, or Thursday or something. I want to do a segment called That's Not Them. And we'll pick a losing week 1 team and say, that's not them. They're better than that. I'm picking the Bengals already. That's not them. I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know what the hell that wasn't. To score 10 points in those weird orange jerseys at home against a Patriots team that's up against some things. You know what, though? Zach Taylor is 1-5 in season openers. He's not good at them. He's a very good coach. He's been to the Super Bowl. He's not good in season openers. The Jamar Chase thing is just very strange. They asked after the game, wow, Jamar, why did you only get 6 targets all game? He goes, ask Zach. It's like, that's not a great answer after week 1, Jamar, especially for someone who didn't practice for the entire month of August. Their first 3 drives of the game were 3 and outs to start the season in front of the home crowd. And they got beat up and pushed around by a Patriots team that is less talented but looked more tough. However, week 1 is a liar. We're going to do that's not them. The Bengals, to me, that's not them. I still think this is a good team. They're way better than what they showed. They have to be, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're better than that. And that's why, when I'm looking at what stood out in the AFC East, pause on the New England Patriots. It was a great win, though. I don't want to take away from the celebration from Coach Mayo and everything he's instilled into his guys. But the Miami Dolphins defense, just looking at the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars and the way they got after it. Welcome back, Jalen Phillips. He's back in the house. Those guys went after Calais Campbell, after everything he went through, too, before the game as well. For these guys to come out there and stay focused and be dialed in, that's really, really impressive. But we've seen and heard about the Dolphins offense, but this defense, they showed that they're ready to step up. I mean, to shut that team out that whole half, because I was concerned in the first half, but that second half, they really showed up.
And the defense did stand out, right? But in terms of standing out, they stood on offense. They stood out all day long because these guys stood on business. Okay, you talk about the Miami team who had a lot going on this offseason. I'm going to run you through the timeline a little bit. July 26th, Tua gets an extension. August 4th, Tyreek gets his extension. Mike McDaniels gets an extension, okay? Jalen Ramsey gets an extension, all right? And then Tyreek Hill gets detained. And yet they still had to find a way to go out there and stand on business and show up and show out against these guys. Not only only did these guys win the ball game, but they were able to continue to do what you know them to do, which is spread the ball around offensively. Everybody was eating. You talk about Tyreek Hill going for 130 yards, okay? Achane going 7 for 7 for 76 yards. Waddle gets the ball. Tua goes out there, doesn't turn the ball over, has a touchdown. Everybody took care of their business. The Miami Dolphins are showing up on offense as well as showing up on defense.
In terms of the division, though, we look at the Bills and what they were able to do against the Cardinals. That is as expected. They have a great quarterback. Their coach has been there in games like that. I take you back to New England as well. To look at what Jerod Mayo did and the experience as a player to become a coach, and this time last year, I didn't come with the dates, like Isaiah. Respect you having the timeline. I don't know the dates. Just a broad stroke. This time last year, Jerod Mayo is the linebackers coach for the New England Patriots, knowing full well what we've heard is that I am the next man to wear that headset. I am the next head coach. The season starts to go poorly. He's thinking, when is it going to be my turn? Is it in season? The whispers began to take over the job in January. What a strange calendar year for Jerod Mayo. And the fact that he probably wanted to get that game out of the way, calling it for the first time, having 2 new coordinators in the room with him, to have that Gatorade dripping down his back on the sideline must have been an amazing feeling. Second to, perhaps, what we saw in the locker room in Cincinnati after the game.
Every one of you contributed. I'm so proud of the new players, the new coaches. People had all the excuses it couldn't happen, but you all did it, and I'm spoiled now. I'm going to count on a lot more.
Yeah, we just getting started.
Most importantly, we're giving you this game.
Embarrassment.
You talk about Jerod Mayo. This is my ex-teammate from New England Patriots. This is actually my bowling partner when we used to go bowling in the offseason. This is my guy. So I am beyond proud of him. Obviously, you see Mr. Kraft there getting emotional. One thing people don't know about Mayo, he was Belichick's right-hand man. He was one of his favorite players. In the middle of the night, if Coach Belichick used to sleep in his office all day long, and this dude would call him up at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, hey, Mayo, I got something I want to show you. Mayo would get up, go to the stadium, they would watch film together. He is one of the most prepared, smartest players that you guys could ever imagine. He is going to be successful. You guys saw it. Everything that he's overcoming in terms of the quarterback situation, his defense is going to be prepared. His players are going to be prepared because that's how he was as a player.
That's a situation that happened. Belichick asleep in his office in New England, calls up Jerod Mayo, got to run something by you defensively, and Mayo
will show up. Literally, Coach Belichick had a cot in his office, right? His office is right by the door, the entryway, okay? You will walk by his door, and you will see literally a bed laid down on the ground. He's like, who is sleeping here? Coach Belichick sleeping here, and he's watching film all night long.
Are you a good bowler?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Is Jerod Mayo a good bowler?
Mayo's a good bowler. Gostkowski's a good bowler.
Okay.
Who else is out there? Yeah, we had a lot of guys. Yeah.
Go.
He just made a little history, became the 4th head coach to win his debut for the Patriots. That's cool.
Yeah.